Abortion has been a central issue in American politics for decades, but in recent years, no political figure has had a greater influence on this debate than Donald Trump. His presidency marked a significant shift in how the country views, legislates, and discusses abortion. By appointing 3 conservative Supreme Court justices, Trump not only fulfilled a key campaign promise to his conservative base, but also set off a chain of events that is reshaping reproductive rights across the nation. However, the story is far from over. As we look forward, the question arises, what can we expect for the future of abortion in Trump's America and beyond? This issue is not just about policies and laws. It touches on how we think about individual rights, government control, and the future of healthcare. In the coming years, we will see battles unfold in courts, on the streets, and online as both sides fight for their vision of America's future. Will the legal landscape become even more hostile to reproductive freedom, or will there be a pushback that propels the country toward greater access to abortion? Understanding Trump's influence on this issue is crucial to grasping what lies ahead. So let's dive into how his actions have set the stage for future conflicts and policy shifts that will affect millions of lives. Trump's Supreme Court appointments and the overturning of Roe v. Wade. One of the most defining moments of Donald Trump's presidency was his appointment of 3 conservative justices to the U.S. Supreme Court: Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. These appointments shifted the court's ideological balance, leading directly to the 2022 Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization decision, which overturned Roe v. Wade. With federal protection for abortion rights removed, the power to regulate abortion returned to individual states, creating a patchwork of laws across the country. This move has already had profound consequences, and its impact will only grow over time. Conservative states like Texas and Alabama quickly enacted near-total abortion bans, while liberal states like California and New York have strengthened their protections for the right to choose. The stark contrast between regions is creating a fragmented nation where access to abortion depends largely on where you live. For women in conservative states, this means facing overwhelming barriers to accessing safe and legal abortions. Many are forced to travel long distances to receive care, a burden that disproportionately affects low-income women who lack the resources for out-of-state travel. On the other hand, liberal states are becoming sanctuaries, offering financial assistance and legal protections for women traveling from restrictive states. This growing disparity between states is not just about geography. It's about deepening socioeconomic inequality. Wealthier women can navigate the system, while poorer women are left with fewer options, often risking their health and safety to seek illegal or unsafe abortions. The future, as Trump's legacy continues to shape it, will likely see increasing division not only in laws but also in access to healthcare. Long-term legal and political ramifications. The Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade didn't just end a federal right to abortion, it unleashed a new wave of legal battles. States like Mississippi, Arkansas, and Missouri quickly implemented restrictive laws, often banning abortion at 6 weeks or outright. These laws are already being challenged in court, but with the current conservative majority on the Supreme Court, many are expected to survive legal scrutiny. Looking ahead, it's clear that the fight over abortion rights is far from over. Pro-life groups are pushing for even stricter measures, including bans on medication abortions and criminalizing those who help women access abortion services in states where it remains legal. Some states are even discussing laws that would punish women who travel out of state to get abortions, a move that could lead to a new era of reproductive surveillance and legal battles. The future of abortion in America will likely see increased clashes between state and federal laws. The Biden administration has expressed its commitment to protecting reproductive rights, but with a divided Congress and a conservative Supreme Court, the path forward remains uncertain. If Trump or another Republican wins the presidency in 2024, the future of abortion rights could take an even darker turn. International implications of Trump's abortion policies. Trump's impact on abortion policy wasn't limited to the US. One of his first acts as president was to reinstate the global gag rule, which prevents foreign NGOs from receiving US funding if they provide or even discuss abortion services. This policy had devastating effects on women's health in developing countries, where many organizations rely on US funding to offer basic healthcare services. By expanding the scope of the global gag rule, Trump effectively cut off critical funding for services like contraception, maternal health care, and HIV/AIDS treatment. The ripple effects were felt across the globe as clinics closed and services were slashed, leaving millions of women without access to essential reproductive health care. While President Biden has since reversed the rule, the damage has been done. And with the possibility of Trump or another Republican reinstating it in the future, the global fight for reproductive rights remains precarious. It's not just about funding. Trump's actions emboldened conservative governments and movements worldwide to pursue stricter anti-abortion policies. In countries like Poland and Brazil, where conservative populism is on the rise, Trump's influence encouraged leaders to crack down on abortion rights, pushing the global conversation further to the right. The impact of Trump's presidency on global reproductive health cannot be underestimated, and the consequences will be felt for years to come. The role of misinformation in the abortion debate. One of the most insidious legacies of Trump's presidency is the rise of misinformation, particularly surrounding abortion. During his time in office, Trump frequently used inflammatory language to describe pro-choice advocates, accusing them of supporting abortion up to the moment of birth, a claim widely debunked by experts. This rhetoric not only misled the public but also deepened the polarization surrounding the issue. Misinformation about abortion has been further fueled by the rise of social media, where conspiracy theories and false narratives spread rapidly. Anti-abortion groups have capitalized on these platforms to push misleading information about the risks of abortion and the supposed immorality of pro-choice policies. As a result, the public debate has become more charged and less grounded in fact, making it increasingly difficult to have productive conversations about the future of reproductive rights. Looking forward, it's likely that misinformation will continue to play a significant role in the abortion debate. The pro-life movement has proven adept at using social media to sway public opinion, and as technology continues to evolve, the tactics used to spread misinformation will only become more sophisticated. This poses a significant challenge for those fighting to protect reproductive rights, as they must not only defend their position but also counter the flood of falsehoods that cloud the issue. The future of reproductive rights under a possible Trump 2024 presidency. As Donald Trump teases the possibility of running for president again in 2024, the question of what another Trump presidency would mean for abortion rights looms large. Given his track record, it's likely that a second Trump administration would further erode reproductive rights in the United States. With a conservative Supreme Court already in place, Trump would have the opportunity to continue appointing federal judges who align with his views on abortion, ensuring that his legacy on the issue would last for decades. Beyond the judiciary, a second Trump presidency could see the introduction of federal legislation aimed at restricting abortion access nationwide. While it would be difficult to pass such laws with a divided Congress, the possibility remains, particularly if Republicans gain control of both the House and Senate. Additionally, Trump's past willingness to use executive orders to enact his policy agenda suggests that he could take unilateral action to further limit access to abortion. Even if Trump doesn't run in 2024, his influence on the Republican Party is undeniable. Many of the party's rising stars, such as Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Texas Senator Ted Cruz, have embraced Trump's hardline stance on abortion, and their potential candidacies could signal a continuation of his policies. The future of reproductive rights in America, therefore, hinges not just on Trump himself, but on the broader movement he has helped to shape. The role of grassroots activism in the fight for abortion rights. Despite the setbacks of recent years, the pro-choice movement is far from defeated. In fact, the overturning of Roe v. Wade has galvanized a new wave of activism as advocates for reproductive rights mobilize to protect and expand access to abortion. Grassroots organizations are leading the charge, working at the local and state levels to pass laws that safeguard reproductive rights and provide support for women in restrictive states. One of the most promising developments in this fight is the growing use of telemedicine to provide medication abortions. In response to the increasing difficulty of accessing in-clinic abortions, activists and healthcare providers are turning to telehealth as a way to bypass state restrictions. This allows women in restrictive states to obtain abortion pills by mail, offering a safe and legal alternative to in-person procedures. Telemedicine is not without its challenges, however. Conservative lawmakers are already working to pass laws that would limit or ban the use of telehealth for abortion services, and the legal battles over this issue are likely to intensify in the coming years. Nevertheless, the rise of telemedicine represents a new frontier in the fight for reproductive rights, and its success could help mitigate some of the harm caused by Trump-era policies. The intersection of abortion and other social justice issues. The debate over abortion does not exist in isolation. It intersects with a range of other social justice issues, including racial and economic inequality, healthcare access, and gender discrimination. For many women, especially those from marginalized communities, the fight for reproductive rights is deeply connected to broader struggles for justice and equality. Women of color, in particular, face disproportionate barriers to accessing abortion services. Due to systemic racism and economic inequality, they are more likely to live in areas with restrictive abortion laws and less likely to have the financial resources to travel for care. This exacerbates existing health disparities, as women of color are already more likely to experience complications during pregnancy and childbirth. The fight for abortion rights, therefore, is not just about protecting individual choice. It's about addressing the structural inequalities that make it harder for some women to exercise that choice. As the pro-choice movement moves forward, it will need to prioritize intersectionality, ensuring that the most vulnerable women are not left behind. This means advocating for policies that address the root causes of inequality, such as expanding access to affordable health care, raising the minimum wage, and combating racial discrimination in the healthcare system.
or
Only by
gently
addressing these
compressivo.
broader issues
Video
can the
3.
movement hope
The
to
future of
achieve
abortion
true
rights
reproductive
and the
justice.
need for intersectionality.
Conclusion:
Duration,
what
60
lies
minus
ahead
90
for abortion
seconds.
rights in
Setting,
America?
urban or
The
rural
future of
backgrounds.
abortion rights
Multiple
in America
female
is
voices
uncertain,
narrated.
but one
Tone,
thing is clear: the
inspirational,
fight is
and
far from
motivational.
over. As Donald Trump's influence continues to shape the political landscape, the battle over reproductive rights will only intensify.